Yes, we are live. Woo,
Oh,
Gloria, welcome in a new episode of Team Copilot, and this time with the amazing Gloria. Gloria is here to talk you through Copilot Chat, and I think a lot of us use Microsoft 365 Copilot, but a lot of us also starting with Copilot Chat, figuring out how they can use it. Sometimes I think we forget that we can use Copilot Chat. A lot of organizations don't know that they have access to it, and then a lot of people can use it already. So I think mixed kind of people will watch this show. Some of them who have a lot of experience from the Copilot Chat. Some of them already are in, for example, the licensing part. Some of them figuring out how it is with agents, working with agents, and what you can do with this combination. So we're going to show you what Copilot Chat is, how you can use it by yourself, some deep dives in some scenarios that we see a lot, and maybe some little few features that we not really announce, but share a little bit about. Of course, we love to hear your feedback as well. Put something in the comments. We will look forward. And now it's time to introduce Gloria. Can you introduce yourself, Gloria?
of course. Thank you. So, hi everyone. I am Gloria Sanchez, and I lead partner go-to-market for Copilot in the AI Business Solutions Marketing Organization. And Fembe, thank you so much. I'm a huge fan of you, obviously, and you're an amazing partner of ours. And I'm thrilled to be here with you because not everybody knows that there are many features that are amazing in Copilot Chat for free. We have talked a lot about what Copilot for M365 can bring to customers, but we sometimes miss that not everybody has the license yet. A lot of people are still trying these tools out. And Femke and I think it's a really good opportunity for us to just share what's out there already for every single power user to start with Copilot Chat for free. So let's start.
True. Let's start the presentation. Let me see. There we go.
And well, these loads, I just want to also kind of like, as we were thinking about the free, well, one of the key features is that it's powered by GPT-4 and it's grounded in web, and it has a lot of the useful capabilities in people's fingertips. And Femke, I'm really, really proud to share that, like we always make the most out of our tools, right? And everybody, I'm going to ask you to please look at this logo in your desktop because it all starts here. And if you don't have it, try to find it in your search bar and pin it.
So the difference, Gloria, is that you can see it with your work and your non-work environment, right? There is a difference with work and web. So you can see if you have the licenses, yes or no, right?
That is correct. And in this case, it's for web. I want to make sure that it is for web. And if you if there are other ways to access as well. So if you still having issues like finding the logo or the app might not be installed yet, there are other ways to access. And this can be through m365copilot.com, or if you go to Microsoft Teams, you can also find it on your pinned apps on your left, or you can also download it straight from your cell phone. The experience will be the same. So now that you found it, go ahead.
Yeah. So one question, you can have it like from the web, but also different kind of applications, right?
Correct.
Good.
So now that you've found it, you will understand why we say that Copilot is a UI for AI. As you enter the experience, you will see that it is really like the window and how to navigate like a unified way for AI Microsoft ecosystem. If you go to the next slide, you'll find that all the users can interact with M365 apps. So you'll find like a way to interact with Word and invoke Excel or Outlook, Windows Edge, and Bing. As well as you will find it that it's the door for any constellation of agents possible. You can find the ones built by our third-party partners, such as MoveWorks, Adobe, SAP, or built by our users to complete tasks, or maybe built by your IT admin that are meant to automate and execute other business processes. And the most important part, Femke, is that it has all the enterprise grade security, the compliance and the governance, and it meets the most strict privacy and security frameworks that there is for AI. It respects all the data boundaries and integrates into the IT controls, making it super trusted interface in any IT in an AI regulated environment. And our commitment to every single customer is to make sure that you have AI innovation to everyone. Copilot Chat really removes that access barrier that a lot of people have. It leverages the latest OpenAI model updates available in ChatGPT. So our end goal is really that in no more than 30 days, for example, if OpenAI releases a new one, it's going to be incorporated. So basically the experience will be greatly enhanced in speed and in results that it brings.
So that's good to hear, Gloria. You say like when there is a new ChatGPT or a new OpenAI model, we bring it as well in a Copilot Chat. That's as well
That's
in the
correct.
free version, you say.
That is correct.
That's amazing. Great. Thank you. Oh, I think you want to go to the next.
Yes. So let's see, like, I want to bring us again back to like, this is the anatomy of Copilot Chat. On your left, you will find all your agents related, right? It can be like created by you, pinned by your organization. You will find your chat history. Then in the center is your prompt box. And I'm so happy, Femke, about your book. And I know we're going to move later to just make sure that to how to leverage it better. It will also show like some suggested prompts. But the better result is to provide instructions instead of treating it as a search box. Then to the right, you will find the Start a New Chat button, and it will also help you clear your past chat and start new conversations.
So even when you go to like office.com, you will come in Copilot, right? So all the places that you earlier mentioned in your Teams, in your Outlook, there is a button for Copilot and you see this.
That is correct. So now I'm going to ask everyone, go and find a recent document that you just created. You have the ability to upload a file right here. You can ask Copilot to provide a short summary. You can ask Copilot to put together some key bullet points. I want to make sure that people know that Copilot Chat supports documents as well as images and as well as PDFs. So these are something that a lot of our users don't know, that this is a very good feature that we have, again, for free in Copilot Chat.
So Gloria, one of the things that is happening then is Copilot is not grounding in your organization. It's not searching in your data in the organization, and you cannot find it like easily. You upload your document, right? That's the difference with a Copilot licensing and without. Is that correct?
That is correct. So for free users and paid users, that's basically like one of the key experiences. For paid licenses, because it's grounded on your work data versus just your web or just documents that are meant for your use. That's a critical difference, and more of the paid value that Femke, you and I should also spend some time just making sure that people understand those differences with the paid value.
Yeah, it's good to understand that you can still upload a document here in the free version. Great.
So now what I'm going to ask is like another common, task that business people like me have. It's like we need to always pull customer insights or forecasts. So in this case, Copilot Chat helps users generate visualizations like charts or graphs. For example, here you'll see like create a line chart showing monthly revenue trends from this Excel file. highlight any months where revenue dropped more than 10% compared to a previous month, or create a bar chart that is comparing open rates across our last 5 campaigns, or plot partner performance by region using revenue contribution. So these are all of the things that you can visualize again and in Copilot Chat, and it will build those charts for you.
Very nice. And then this, the Copilot prompts gallery. Can you share us more on what it is?
The prompt gallery really just helps you illustrate a little bit of some examples of the prompts that you can do, or suggestions based on the documents that you've had, or the past conversations that you've had with it. But I think that I'm also going to change the Copilot prompts for your section, Femke. I'm really excited for that. Yes, let's do that.
Let's do that. But this is absolutely something to visit. The prompt gallery has great examples already there.
So now, let me switch a little bit gears and enter into the agent territory. If we go back to the Copilot Chat Anatomy, right? Remember that I told you on the left navigation, you will find all your agents. So it will take you to the menu of apps, right? So here we have an agent store. And it was going to take you to the menu of applications available to you by your organization, from third-party companies, or your own organization, or those that are popular by your group. It will also have some that are built by Microsoft or even built by you. This is the place where you will also find create an agent. Now, let's make sure that your IT admin has set up the permissions for you to create agents. But if you have this capability, you will see instant access to Copilot Studio. And then once you enter Copilot Studio, it will very nicely say, I'm here to help you build your first agent. You can start describing what you want an agent to do, and off you go. It's incredibly easy to create, configure, and just start using agents.
So what you're saying, Gloria, is there are some out-of-the-box agents you already can use. I know, for example, the ID agents and the rights agents. That is something that you can use from Microsoft, for example. But you say as well, you don't have to need a licensing, an M365 licensing, to create your own agents.
That is correct. What is needed, though, is that you make sure that you are set up to leverage Copilot Studio, and that basically your IT admin should have provided or attached it to the consumption, because it does require that for anyone to start using agents. That is correct. But yeah, it basically gives you a pay-as-you-go option to do it.
So it's on the hand of how many conversations you had, and pay-as-you-go model, right?
Correct.
And this is basically, can you share more about creating an agent?
Yes, this is a little bit like a double click. Is another thing that I forgot to mention in the other slide, is that we also have agent templates that it makes it very easy. Like we have some of the prompt coach or the idea coach, and as well as like building that from scratch. I think it's very important that people start thinking about agents to help them complete some repetitive tasks. For example, I have one myself that it's meant to draft communications based on what feedback we have gotten from my field teams or from partners. So that summary view that I built is basically providing me with insights almost twice to 3 times a week, depending on if we just released, like, for example, a new feature and I'm waiting to hear back from all my partners, right? This has helped me greatly reduce the time I have spent in the past just creating it myself. So that's just an example of how to make the most out of agents.
And there are so many agents, right? So many processes, so many different kind of people, how they work, so many teams, how they work together. So I think a great opportunity for a lot of people to thinking about an agent, and as well just start creating and testing and finding out what it is for your organization.
That is correct.
So we're going to the next slide.
And I think that, some people, again, like this slide, it's really, really important, because I want to make sure that as you use Copilot Chat, as you're uploading files, as you're uploading images, or anything that it's work related, I want people to be sure that it's the most secure tool today, right? We are super committed in the trust that we provide to our users, and we provide all the tools so people can manage their environments as well as now agents, right? So if you create an agent and you're giving it instructions to go and fetch, for example, data from your SharePoint file, it is protected. So that commitment to security and data boundary respect is something that we take very seriously.
Awesome. And I think I'm taking it over now about prompting, because like prompting is the basic, right, for having good outcomes. And the basic we need to share a lot, I think, because a prompt really needs to be clear. It needs to be specific. We need to give it instructions to give AI, for example, like Copilot, that it exactly knows what we want. So think like having a briefing to a colleague or something like that. You need to be so specific to get better results. So it's a thing that we need to understand, and it's not always easy for us as a human to know how to do that. So I think good prompting, we need to start with the 3 different kind of steps that we really need to understand. And you need to, of course, enter your prompts, but use some complete sentences. For example, be with much of detail that you can give. For example, where do you want to have your output from? For example, like a website that you already know, or some PDF or the documents that Gloria just mentioned that you put your content in. Of course, you also need to check out if you get some information back, is it the good information that I get? So always take a second to look at the validation on it. And if it's the right way, that the right things that you get out of it. And the third one is, I see that's in Dutch, that's typical, but you need to have like a real conversation. It's good to have a real conversation with Copilot. It listens better when you actually talking in a human way and say, for example, thank you. You get better results as well. And asking about what are the next following ups, what you want to achieve. So it's really good to give that all back to Copilot. So then it's really nice to think about how can you write that prompt. And it's important that you look to the different kind of way of this, like context, proposed, search, and the expectations. And when you have all 4 of this in your prompt, you get definitely better responses. So why do you need to? Why do you need this, and why is it involved? Then what do you want that Copilot want to generate for you, and what information should it use, and as well how should it respond? And this is something that you really need in mind to for your questions with Copilot, that you have all these kind of things in it. And I have an example there as well. I work in marketing, and I do some research. Give me a brief summary, recent news about company, focus on the web article from the past 2 months. Give me the answer in 2 or 3 paragraphs, and use it like a business-like tone. You see here all the key elements back from the context, the purpose, the search, and the expectation. And one of the things that I like here as well, that it's giving, for example, like the past 2 months, which kind of company, and I want it in 3 paragraphs and in a business line like tone. So this is a really good prompt with all the things in it. What make a prompt really effective? It needs to be specific with the right instructions. But if you be like a little bit vague or not just a few words or no context in it, for example, like summarize this article, that's not so effective. If that you say, okay, summarize these findings of the article and make a copy below and add 3 challenges, for example. So you give lots more of instructions there. And one thing that I really like, it's from a friend of mine who said this. It's an example that you can keep in mind. If you want to order a cup of coffee, you can say, I like a delicious, perfect cup of coffee, please. That can be a prompt, for example. But in your mind, you have something else probably there, and you really want to have a medium extra hot coconut milk latte with medium roast blend, so the bones of like Starbucks, and like 2 sugars and a heart-shaped latte on top. That's what I really want. So think about what you really want. And yes, we need to help Copilot in that to give you the best results in it. Then I really want to share a few examples that I see a lot in the free version. And I think it's nice to mention them, that we already did some things and we already shared some use cases somewhere in this presentation, but there are a few that I always like and see back at different kind of companies who are using the free chat. And for example, some things around research and data. Can you give me a list of the 10 competitors and summarize their financial results? Or I need to go to this kind of customer. Can you please give me more information about what they do and how they go to markets? Or if you have a file, like an Excel file, and one of the results from like last quarter and your results from now, you can say, okay, give me the difference between the one and the other Excel file. So that are a few things that you can do, like researching, asking data for more information around what's happening with your files, for example. The other thing that I see a lot is like summarizing or concluding is, for example, give me a summary of the key decisions points and actions. So for example, you have like a meeting, and yes, you can have a meeting and then Microsoft 365 licensing, but you can do as well without a licensing, use the transcript. So you can download it and you can put it in Copilot Chat and asking for a summary. Okay, it's easier to have a licensing, I need to say, and it's much easier to do it in the licensing. It takes more time to do this, but yes, it's also possible. So like doing that, it can help you and can help you with your work and can actually save your time. Another thing that we see is put the action item table responsible owners of the deadline. For example, so this is more example prompt when you have like summarize a meeting. At one hand, you can say, okay, I want to summarize it, but you want to have as well the action items in it and the deadlines that you have had discussed in that kind of meeting. So that's something that you also can do in the Copilot free chats and ask for it to give it like a table with the different kind of things, what you need to do for next steps with that kind of customer. You also can say, write an email for that customer so I can use that email for my next steps. So I think a lot of things we can use that people don't know that it's possible. Then we have helping with writing and difficult emails that are as well some things that Copilot can really help you understand. for example, being more friendly or more professional style. So put your email in the chat, so you can copy paste it in your chat, and then you have something back. Of course, you need to copy paste it back to Outlook as well. When you have a licensing, you don't have to do that, but all kind of workarounds to get the most out of your free version. Another thing that I really like is like make it shorter, make it more active, make it more friendly, make it more to get this done to our customer, for example, or like in another language, it's also possible to say translate it in English or translate it in another language. Now, these kind of things are really good for Copilot Chat. For example, as well, brainstorming on a project or the things that you want to work on. Use Copilot for it to make some next steps. And yes, this is us. Gloria, are you still here?
Yes.
And we saw each other like a few months ago, and you had my book. So yes, we are here to help you all with all the information that we have around Copilot Chat, but as well around Copilot in general. So there is a book that you can download. You can find it on this link, this Microsoft link as well. And a new book is launching on the Copilot free chat with all the kind of new scenarios, and even 45 different scenarios you will find there. So pre-order that book, it's free. But there is more, and not only from my part, but there's more where we can help. Maybe you want to share more about this from your side, Gloria.
Yes, I think that there are also resources. If you follow this hyperlink for Copilot Adoption Hub, this is where we have a lot of these scenario libraries. Where you will find the scenario library very valuable, it's that it has resources according to your role. So if you're in finance or HR or marketing or in IT, like it will have very specific guidance into how to make most out of these tools. Now, obviously, we also have like the CIO playbook for those looking more into having conversations with the CIO. I'm sure that we are having here some partners or some people that are advising other companies on how to leverage the new tool. So that's going to be super useful. And then the AI adoption guide, right? Which encompasses more like users and decision makers about them. But yeah, going back to your book, Femke, I think that what I found it's so easy, so easy to leverage. I think that it helps people bring that focus and relevancy on how to build valuable prompts that will obviously yield to valuable responses. So I appreciate your book a lot, and I think my leadership does too, and my team as
Great.
well. So
Thank you so
we're big
much.
fans.
Thank you so much. Gloria, is there something that we can share as well around all the things? Like, what is the difference between, we know that there are a lot of difference between like Copilot chats and the licensings, but is there something that you can say, okay, this is for you, the big difference, why you need a licensing? That's the question we have here.
Well, I think that in this case, like I mentioned, like part of the free, right, which is already you see like a lot of great value. But when it comes to the $30 SKU, for example, a lot of the agent creation is already created there. A lot of our new built agents, like we have researcher or analysts that are very high quality agent types that will help you, for example, analyze like tons of data for Excel. It's already included in the license. And as you mentioned, Femke, the fact that it is grounded in the work tenant, right? It can bring files from across that obviously the user must have access to them, but then it can combine your own data with other people's data. So for example, if I am looking at customer insights for X or Y campaign, I can then also compare it to also other campaigns that other teams have built and make it a more meaningful kind of comparison, and that can provide me with better insights into how to think about my future campaigns. That's just one simple example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for if we have some more questions. Let me see. We have some questions about writing a good prompt, but I think we already did that, discussed that. Let me see. I'd say not everything needs to be an agent, of course. I think that's what we're also saying. Some processes can be simply by using a Power Automate. Is that also what you're seeing?
Well, Power Automate, it's an entire different product that it's not really part of Copilot Chat. I mean, I would say Power Automate will allow you to build flows, right? And
Yes.
you will need to be a Power Platform user for that. It does allow you to build agents in Copilot Chat, leveraging Copilot Studio and Power Platform, if you all obviously have the right licenses. But that's not part of the experience. I want to make sure that people know.
True. Okay, thank you so much, Gloria. I think we have all the comments and all the reactions here. If people still have some questions and want to reach out to you, they can find you on LinkedIn, I think.
Of course.
And
I want to say, Femke, I cannot say much now, but I think that people should wait in the next few days where we're going to have even more free announcements for everyone using Copilot Chat and new surface areas where they will find it even more useful.
So what you're saying, and I think that's really, really amazing. What you're saying is that Microsoft is not only helping the products that is paid, where people paid for to a next level, but they also doing it on the unpaid version to create some new features and new insights. I think that's awesome.
Correct. The investments
great
will
work.
be, like a free version will continue to have investments. So yes.
Good. So there are some few questions as well, but I think we're picking up that later. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you soon in Seattle somewhere.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Bye-bye.
Bye.